Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Course in Miracles 365. I'm your host, Tomas Garza, and happy Saturday to you, wherever you are, wherever you're joining us from in the world, whether it's live or on the replay. Today is Saturday, and it's a beautiful day here in Phoenix, Arizona. So let us know where you're joining us from if you're tuning in live here today. It's a lot of fun. We've had visitors, people coming on and watching this show regularly from North America, from the US and Canada, from Romania, from England. We've had people tuning in from Australia, from New Zealand, really literally all over the planet. And that's exciting and it's fun. And we have the technology here in the 21st century to reach vast amounts of people with a message of love, quite frankly. We can broadcast love around the world just as easily as we can broadcast fear. It's a beautiful thing to be able to do that. And I'm so thankful to be here visiting every day with all of you on Enlightened World Network. So if you are joining in, or if you're catching the replay and you know of people that would benefit from not just this show, but all shows here on the network on all three channels, by the way, since we've just launched One with the Earth as well this past weekend. Share, feel free to share this post. I appreciate all of your comments here live and on the replay, all of the hearts, likes, and shares, everything. So let us know where you're tuning in from today. And we've got a very, very important lesson today in the workbook for students of A Course in Miracles. So whether you're following along with me or on your own, or whether you don't own A Course in Miracles at all, this is really going to apply to everyone, everywhere, literally, wherever you are. We're talking about universal spiritual principles here. So lesson 49 in the workbook follows lesson 48, which makes sense. Lesson 48 tells us that there's nothing to fear at all, at all. And lesson 49, following up on that, tells us that God's voice speaks to us throughout the day, throughout. In other words, it's constant. Now, when we think of the way we show up, the way we appear in the world, if we're honest with ourselves, really, truly honest with ourselves and examine it, it's anything but constant, isn't it? It really is. It's anything but constant because our minds jitter back and forth and they move from one item to another at warp speed. One minute you're talking to somebody on the telephone, the next minute you're thinking about tomorrow's meeting, then you're thinking about yesterday's lunch, then you're thinking about how your foot itches and you want to take your shoes off to scratch the itch, and then you're thinking about yesterday, and then you're thinking about 1983, and then 20 years from now, what the world's going to be like. We're constantly pulled, distracted, all over the place. And our mind races undisciplined from one shiny object to the next. It's anything but constant. It's anything but consistent. And that is the way the world is and operates. So where we are appearing to be in this world is we have a choice. We have a choice. And I say this on every single broadcast here, every single show, every live stream. We have a choice between love and fear. In other words, we have a choice between God or the ego. We have a choice as to which voice we listen to. Do we listen to the voice for God, which is known as the Holy Spirit in A Course in Miracles, or do we listen to the voice of the ego, the distraction, being pulled in 1,000 different directions, all of it at warp speed, constant overwhelm, stress, not being able to get anything done or to focus on anything because we're pulled in millions and millions of different directions. Which voice will you listen to right now? We all have a choice. Listening to one voice leads to peace. The other voice leads to chaos. Those are our choices and our options. So you may be asking, well, how do I listen to the voice for God? Or if you prefer, how do I listen to my guides? How do I listen to my higher self? How do I listen to the universe? Yeah. How do I listen to this? Well, it takes a decision and practice. The decision is to listen to the voice for God, which I'll just call it on this live stream, rather than the ego. That's a decision that we make right now. I just made it. I'll make it again. I'll need to make it again because I'll be pulled away by my Facebook feed. I will. I'll be pulled away by people that need my attention, that want my attention, and I will be pulled away all the time by thoughts because this is the way our minds work. It just keeps going and it never stops. What we can do is we can deliberately choose the voice for God, and we can deliberately choose to spend some time in peace and quiet, orienting ourselves, attenuating ourselves to wake up to who we really are, which has never, by the way, gone anywhere. And we are not broken. At our core, at our essence, we are not broken, not in any way, shape, or form. The ego would tell us that we are, that we're fallible, that we're weak. You can't, you can't, you can't. Yeah, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too talented, I'm not talented enough. It'll churn out one voice after another with zero consistency because it is fear itself. And, well, fear is confused. Peace is certain. It is reality. We're simply training ourselves to awaken to that. This is what, by the way, the practice periods in the workbook are for. They are meditations, in essence. It's exactly what they are. They're nothing more, nothing less than meditation periods. So let's talk about that here. It's very important. You may have a regular meditation practice or you may not, and that is okay. Doesn't matter. One of the things, if you're new to A Course in Miracles, that is really beautiful about it is that the Course applies no matter where you're from or what your spiritual practice looks like. Same with meditation, of course. It doesn't matter if you follow a traditional world religion or not, or something completely different. Whatever your practice looks like, meditation can play a role. It works on our minds, it works on our being to attenuate us to who we really are. What I mean by that is it peels layers of chaos and drama away. It's a choice that we make right now in the moment to sit and listen to the voice for God, which is speaking to us constantly. God's voice really, literally, truly does speak to us 24/7, every day. Why? We've never left it. It's peace, it's calm. That's where we hear it. So that is what we are trying to reach here with this practice period in lesson 49 and with all of them, in truth, with all of them, with every meditation, we're reaching a peaceful place where we can hear the voice for reality rather than the voice for one shiny object, one illusion after another. This is a place that we've never left. We're simply awakening to that. So, how does it work? If you're not familiar with meditation, you may see, and there are many, many different kinds of meditations. There are people here on Enlightened World Network and otherwise that lead beautiful, peaceful, and really tremendously uplifting guided meditations. But it can be as simple as one breath. It can be as simple as one breath. So, how do you do that? Well, you have time to breathe. So let's all, please, if we can, dispense with the ego's excuse that I don't have time to practice. Sure, you do. I don't have time to meditate. Yeah, I hear that a lot. I've been a meditation instructor myself, and in this world, I've had a regular meditation practice for 36 years. I've heard this from people. I've told myself this, especially when I first started. So if this is new, don't worry about it. But it's actually easier than it seems because a highly successful, highly beneficial meditation practice can be as short as one single solitary breath, just one. How do you do it? You breathe in and just pay attention to the physical sensations in your body of your breath entering. Feel your chest cavity expand, and then exhale. Pay attention to the sensation of the breath leaving your body, your chest expanding and contracting, and just place your awareness on that single breath. This is a classic meditation instruction because when you discover that your mind has been carried away, and it's possible, even in a one breath meditation, to think about tomorrow's lunch. We'll just use tomorrow's lunch as an example. Why not, right? People like lunch. Yeah. We'll use that as an example, and it's possible to get carried away by that, or it could be anything else. So, classic meditation instruction is when you notice that your mind's been carried away, just bring it back to the object. That's what we have that for. But yes, it's like a crutch. Yes, it's like an anchor, but it's something that we can bring our minds back to. The workbook lesson, the idea for the day. Today, it's God's voice speaks to me all through the day. That can be an anchor for your practice. Just like the breath, just like a mantra, just like an object that you visualize, if that's the type of meditation that you're used to. Yeah. And the workbook asks us to repeat this idea to ourselves as often as we can, and then to sit in. And today it calls for four, and then you'll notice that the amount varies day to day. If you can only do one, you can only do one. But the importance of a practice like this is to just try to reach beyond the ego's wild thoughts. All the thoughts about yesterday's lunch. Should I have or should I not have done this or said this yesterday? I mean, who dwells on that? Right? A lot of people, yeah. Who runs away with worries about the future? A lot of people, yeah. Just bring us, meditation, this practice brings us back to the present moment, which in truth is all that there is, literally. I mean, it makes sense, does it not? The past is gone, the future's not yet here. People say that, but what does it mean? Well, it means that we have a choice right now to listen to the voice for God or the ego. Choosing the voice for God, choosing love, choosing peace leads to more love and peace. So, how do you get to the place where that is more prevalent in your life and you are calmer, more composed, quieter, and more certain, 100% certain that you stand in the authority of truth? Who wants to stand there? Yeah, every hand. Every hand should be raised. Yeah. We all deep down want that. So, how do we get there? Well, we need to make the decision to get there and make the decision to orient ourselves, orient our mind. This is spiritual practice to begin to experience, to open to the experience of this profound calm and peace that is none other than love itself. We are awakening to love. So, whatever your spiritual practice and meditation practice looks like, let this serve as hopefully a bolster to you, a support to you in your own efforts and your own practice, and a call to action, a do aim, to put out a call to action for you because we have a choice. The more people that choose love right now, the better, the more peaceful the world will be, the more peace you will experience, the more flow, synchronicity you'll experience, the more calm, and also the more clarity, acute clarity, certainty, certainty. Who wants to experience this? I hope to look at the comments in a minute and say a lot, and see a lot of hands saying me, me, me. Yeah, yeah, me too. Me too. So we show up and we practice. All right, so let's see who's joining us today live here on this beautiful Saturday. And any questions, any comments that you all may have, feel welcome to type them into the chat. If you've not already, I'm going to go take a look here. And here we are live with several people watching from around the world. Beautiful. Thank you for tuning in. Hi, Robert and Bernadette. Hello, how are you? And Elaine, hi. Thank you for joining us here today. Yeah. And so Robert, as the legend says, inside each of us, there's an ongoing battle between two wolves. That's one way of looking at it. Yeah. One represents darkness and the other represents light. Which wolf wins? The one that we feed most. Okay, yes. I love that. So true, isn't it? I love this. I love this. Yeah. The one we feed is the one that we experience. Actually, this is how manifestation works. We don't actually need a fancy, elaborate technique because the truth of the matter is that if we feed, listen to the voice for God, we experience peace. It becomes our reality. Now, if we listen to the ego, chaos, fear, distraction, hysteria, then that's what we experience. It's what we see. Everything proceeds from the inside out. The outer world is a physical manifestation of what's going on inside of us, in our own minds. If you see a peaceful and beautiful world, you can bet that you're choosing love more often than not. If you see chaos, frustration, heartache, and fear, you can bet that you're choosing fear more often than not. It's really that simple. Yeah, so thank you, Robert. I love this. I love that comment. Thank you so much. And hello, Christina. Hello, everybody else that's tuning in here from around the world. Yeah, if you have any questions or comments, we still have a few more minutes here. Usually these live streams are 15 to 20 minutes, but I'm in a half-hour time slot here, so sometimes I just like to push the envelope and extend that a little bit. I'll just say that because it's so much fun to interact with all of you here live, and yeah, it's really beautiful. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in, and also for your own practice. This is really critical. This is the best offering that we can make the world, is our own practice, our own determination to wake up, our own choice of love over fear. This is the best thing and the most far-reaching and beautiful, compassionate, loving thing that we can do for everyone and everything. Yeah, for the entire world, for all beings. Yeah. It's our practice. That's the best offering we can make. So thank you for showing up. And whatever your spiritual practice looks like. Thank you for showing up and working on that. The more of us that do that, the better. Right? The faster, the speedier that we all experience collectively love. Now it starts with us, doesn't it? Starts with that decision. Which am I choosing? Well, God's voice truly does speak to you, speaks to me, speaks to all of us throughout the day. We just need to choose that, choose to hear it, and orient ourselves deliberately so that we have enough practice of getting out of our own way and hearing it, that we're able then to feel and experience this love. If you don't know what this feels like and looks like, that's all right. Chances are you do. Chances are you do. You might not have called it that, but feelings of joy and happiness, certainty, all of those are available to us all the time. It's our birthright. And in fact, it's who we really are. So this is awakening to the truth of who we really are. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. And if you're catching the replay and you have questions about A Course in Miracles or about meditation or about spirituality in general, please feel welcome to leave them here in the comment thread because I do check that from time to time throughout the day. And I will see you back here again tomorrow. Again, this is a daily live stream on Enlightened World Network. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will talk to you very soon.